Hello and welcome back, and I hope your week's been okay. Don't know what I've got a phaser on me for. Something to add to my collection. Oh, how do I turn this thing off? There you go. Right, so like I said, I hope you had a good week so far. And I noticed it's been about, what was it, 3 weeks since we've last paid a visit to Slapped Ham. So, this is viewers can't believe what's been caught on camera. So, without further ado, let's do this.
Creepy things that have been...
Instantly remember... Oh, it's noticing I hasn't given a preview away. Well, if you just give a little bit of preview, sort of, or what's to come, remember, look away from the camera. But I'm surprised it didn't start for this, but no.
Caught on camera that are starting to freak the internet out. So hit that subscribe button and get ready for more creepy content. Just like this.
Oh. Hello, Callum.
Nottinghamshire residents have long reported strange happenings in a heritage-listed building known as The Village in Mansfield, UK. Unexplained moans and shadowy figures are often said to plague the centuries-old building. Historians say that an old barn once stood on the property many years ago. Prior to the 19th century, it was said to be used as a hideout for monks seeking refuge. One day, the barn was set alight and 7 monks perished in the blaze.
Oh.
Having heard of the tragic history of the property, full-time paranormal investigator Lee Roberts decided to investigate the building for himself. Roberts and his team held a vigil. Using a Ouija board, they attempted to make contact. They even held hands, calling for any spirits to make themselves.
So I'm not shaking my head because people go, oh, we go use Ouija boards are dangerous. Ouija boards are rubbish, mate. They're absolute rubbish. I've got one, and anything it ever did was be a waste of money. Because seriously, nothing bad's happened. Touch wood, because I don't want. It's the universe you don't want to mock. You don't poke it with sticks. It'll go, all right, son, have some of this. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's baloney.
Known. Several team members reported feeling uneasy, but on the whole, nothing too unusual seemed to happen. That was until Roberts checked the CCTV footage from the building. Take a look at what was captured. As you can see, an eerie smoke seems to roll through the room. Roberts has maintained that he's very scientific when it comes to his investigations. He doesn't like jumping to conclusions, but admits this is a very strange sighting. The bizarre event quickly caught on when several UK journalists ran stories featuring the strange CCTV footage. Viewers were quick to link the story of the burning monks with the strange smoke-like substance caught on camera. Some skeptics thought it might be vape or cigarette smoke caught on film. However, due to the Grade 2 heritage status of the building, the venue has a strict no vape or smoking policy. So what do you think's been caught on camera here? Could this strange smoke really be linked to the tragic history of the building? Let me know your thoughts down below.
Although he's saying that, I'm not saying it for those of you who have been really just joined this channel. I have a saying which has become a bit of catchphrase, and that is, I'm not saying it is, I'm not saying it isn't. But the thing is, just because someone says that you're not allowed to smoke or vape doesn't mean they don't do it when no one's looking. You know what I mean? But you know what I mean? But it is weird that it's like circles, like pool. You know what I mean? It's bizarre.
TikTok user Theatre of the Absurd seems to have captured a chilling bit of ghost footage, thanks to the likely haunted old theatre where he works.
Someone in here? Hello?
In the video, the TikToker gives viewers a tour of the creepy old theatre.
It's a really beautiful theatre, as you can see, if you can see it at all.
He explains that he had been hearing a noise coming from the theatre when no one else was supposed to be around.
But I keep hearing a noise in here, and there's not supposed to be anybody here, so...
Filming for posterity, the uploader shows the unique old architecture of the theatre, as well as one of its unique attractions, the ghost light.
There's the ghost light. It's the light we keep on for...
The uploader explains that the light is usually left on in order to help guide any spirits that happen to remain in the old theatre.
It's the light we keep on for ghosts, for people who still remain here and whatnot, and...
However, it's just when the uploader explains the function of the light that he immediately seems to get the sense that he's not alone. Looking up into one of the far balconies, a creepy figure can be seen lurking, watching the uploader.
Ooh.
What is that?
The camera holder tries to get a better vantage point. It's here we can make out a grey silhouette of a man staring down from the balcony. The uploader then follows up with a second clip in which he investigates a potential intruder in the theatre. After the theatre's sirens went off, alerting the worker to the presence of an intruder, he was unable to find anyone in the theatre.
Someone in here? Hello?
However, he explains that he did hear the sound of piano keys tinkling in another room. Going to investigate, the uploader warns the potential intruder that no one's supposed to be in the theatre.
You're not supposed to be in here.
The unseen figure plays a few notes on the piano in response, scaring the uploader, who is now certain he's not alone. Still, he calls out to the intruder again.
Who is it?
Suddenly, the lights turn off and he's
Who
confronted with the discordant and menacing notes from the piano. The clip ends with the uploader understandably worried, running away from the theatre from whatever meddling intruder awaited him on the other side of the room.
Oh, it could be a prank. Not saying
As
it's not.
hospitals are commonly associated with death, it's
Not saying it is, not saying it isn't. But, you know, it could be someone could prank him. If it's on the other side of the thing, we don't know, do we say?
perhaps no surprise that there have been countless sightings of strange ghostly shapes and figures around them for years. Kit Williams's mother-in-law was yet another individual who had a peculiar experience in her hospital room in Brisbane, Australia. In the unsettling photograph, the camera is pointed towards the ceiling of a hospital room. In the mid-right view of the photograph, we can see an air vent. While most of the vent looks normal, we can see a strange yellow-brown shape on the left-hand side that seems to peer out eerily into the room. What makes this bizarre figure even scarier is that the mother-in-law claims the shape would blink and look around the room as if inspecting her from above.
Yeah.
Even more terrifying, the mother-in-law claimed that she would feel others touching her and waking her up, but no one was around when she would wake up.
Because what got me first, it's like, yeah, I waited for him to give the story first because I was kind of like, well, hang on a second. It's like, how do people? Because usually people spot stuff in these photos, and you're sat there going, how the hell did you spot that? You know what I mean? So, but for her to say, oh, she saw something move and then she took a photo, then fair enough. I mean,
Others who have viewed the photograph suggested that the figure could simply be a small animal, such as a possum, that have been known to crawl around air vents. Others believe this figure could be something paranormal with sinister intentions. Further still, some have suggested it could be a peeping Tom that has crawled into the vents for a better view.
even worse.
Either way, there's no denying that this air vent is definitely home to something that shouldn't be there. This bizarre footage of an Oklahoma parking lot has made its way around the internet since it was first captured in 2002. Like many infamous scary videos, the footage has become something of a legend. Known as the impound ghost, something truly unsettling was captured on CCTV camera. The news clip features the impound lot employee, Kathy Henley, who first noticed the odd figure on the security cameras.
Our alarm was on, so nobody jumped the fence.
The worker claims to have been frightened by the footage, which seems to show a ghostly figure circle its way around the impound lot. The figure is stiff and white and seems to almost teleport its way atop a circle
You can tell from there. Sorry.
of vehicles. Clearly scared of what she was seeing, the impound lot worker then claims to have asked one of her co-workers to go and see what was going on. However, the employee found there was not a single soul in sight when they went to investigate the odd occurrence. It seemed the figure could only be seen on video, with other videos online offering extended footage of the ghost's odd behaviour.
Ooh.
The employee in the news clip the figure could only be seen on video.
I was just checking out some lighting.
With other videos on its way atop a circle of vehicles.
I'm using my TV for lighting and make sure things don't go dark on me.
Clearly scared of what she was seeing, the impound lot worker then claims to have asked one of her co-workers to go and see what was going on. However, the employee found there was not a single soul in sight when they went to investigate the odd occurrence. It seemed the figure could only be seen on video, with other videos online offering extended footage of the ghost's odd behaviour.
Looks like it's wearing a work overall, like a mechanic. You know what I mean?
The employee in the news clip explains that 3 of the vehicles in the impound lot that night were from fatal accidents. One accident had only just occurred that night. A paranormal investigator floated the theory that the ghost was likely someone involved in one of those deadly accidents. Perhaps it was even looking for their car. The figure appears to be circling, lost and confused by the wreckage left behind. With that in mind, this footage becomes even more tragic. Most of the time, when people hear strange sounds in their house, they can be explained by a house settling, the weather outside, or other housemates moving about. Reddit user Oopy Spoopy Man.
Or, and I hope people are watching this because it's a shame that some of my recent videos have got 0 views. But if you're watching this bit of information I picked up somewhere is really crucially and important. And I'm not saying it's the sole purpose, but it is an interesting point that no one thinks about. And I think it's a very important one they should go and check just for their safety. Because oddly enough, I forgot all about it because there's adverts about on TV. But if you're got so-called, no objects are moving, but you got some sense of dread or all sort of stuff, or something going on that's affecting your thinking and mind, then get, unless of course you can buy one, I'm not sure you can buy one from a DIY shop, but if not, get someone who reads the gas meter to come in to check for carbon monoxide, because carbon monoxide leaks in a house, which can be fatal, by the way. If it doesn't get you straight away, it will get you over time. Well, you can tell it's doing damage because it's messing with your brain, hence why you feel there's some paranormal stuff going on. But yeah, just get it checked, just in case. So when you do have something going on that's weird, obviously there's objects moving, like getting thrown and stuff, then that's going to be hard. That's not carbon monoxide, but it's always best to tick that off your list, because it's very dangerous stuff. So yeah, I was it TED Talk or something about it, where this woman was having ghost experience, paranormal experiences, and she's not saying this accounts for everything, but most investigations she's personally done, a lot of the strange events have been put down to the carbon monoxide. So if you have any weird, strange feelings, etc., which you think are paranormal, just get it checked out. Just get it ticked off, because that way it could end up saving your life, or at least not doing any. It can kill you. I suppose it can kill you. I'm not an expert on carbon monoxide. I know large quantities will kill you, but but yeah, just get it checked out. Just get it ticked off your list, and plus it could save your life. It could save people's lives.
And began to hear strange noises in his kitchen, but this time something far more terrifying may have been to blame. In the photograph, we see a hallway that leads to a kitchen. The The part of the kitchen we can see initially looks dark, though there seems to be a strange blur to the left of the door. When we zoom in on the picture, the blur takes on a horrifying shape.
Oh. I mean, I know it's cold in here, but I got this. I'm wrapped up nice and warm, but Jesus Christ, look at that. Can you see it? Just about. Got chicken, but not turkey. In one of my videos, I found a new expression. If you get goosebumps on top of goosebumps, you know, when it gets extreme, like you walked into the Exorcist room or something. You know, extreme chicken. I call that like turkey. You know what I mean? Don't know why.
The blur comes into focus to show what looks to be a man's head turned to the side, completely white with dark eyes gazing at the photographer. Initially, many other Reddit users couldn't see any shape. When they were able to look at the picture closer, they completely freaked out and began to come up with many different theories. The original Reddit poster claimed that his housemates were all out of the apartment when the picture was taken, and that there's simply no way to explain what was captured on film. He ended up deciding to move out of the residence and in with his family, too scared at the possibility of seeing the figure once again. While some skeptics bring up the potential that the figure could be someone in a mask, such as Michael Myers as seen in Halloween, most agree that the original poster shouldn't take the chance of staying in the residence. So what do you think that mysterious face could be? Love to hear your thoughts in the comments section below.
So I would say, you could say pareidolia, but there's nothing in the background to cause that pareidolia, if it makes sense. So, yeah, very spooky. Gaming chicken.
The London Underground has been reported to be haunted for many years. With a long and dangerous history, it's no wonder passengers and staff alike have seen and heard things that can't quite be explained. Neil Andrew Pike and his children were returning home from a day out visiting the Science Museum in Kensington. Pike had been filming all day, capturing the afternoon out with family. While waiting for the train at Knightsbridge Tube Station, Pike was filming the dark tunnel, expecting to see the train arrive at any minute. That's when he noticed some movement, but couldn't quite tell what had happened. When he watched the footage back, he was stunned at what he had captured. The video was uploaded to the YouTube channel ZeroFoxFK for all to see. Take a look. It's hard to spot at first, but if you zoom in, there's a dark figure leaping out onto the tracks.
Oh, wow.
To make this sighting even more chilling, Knightsbridge Station has a dark and gruesome past. According to historical data, in 1664, the area was used as a place.
Dada. Sorry, I love the way Americans pronounce Dada. Well, it's funny though, because they had was it a British doctor? Was it Kowalski, whatever her name was, in TNG? Who said data? Or data? It's like, no, it's data. Oddly enough, the way they pronounce it on the show is the English way of saying data. Because Americans don't pronounce their names like A, it's A. Aluminium. That's aluminium. The problem is it's very hard to switch back when you go aluminum. They say aluminum, like It's A. So it's quite funny. It's almost just saying Star Trek, you know, like data. Data? No, it's data. Data. But yeah, just reminds of that.
Egg pit. Anyone who died at the Knightsbridge Lazar House, which is basically a leprosy quarantine zone, was buried deep underground, right near the current tube station. In fact, the train tracks curve sharply between Knightsbridge and South Kensington stations, just to avoid the old burial grounds. So could the shadowy figure caught on camera by Pike be linked to the old plague pit?
We hope either that or someone's jumping. I mean, but again, it would be reported because sadly there's been quite a lot of those. Just give me a second. can't be a pleasant way to go, though, because it's not... Well, they've worked... Well, I think I watched some random video about experiences, like, what it's like... Because when we think of drowning, it's different, but yeah. But anyway, long story short, it's not... Yeah, I wouldn't really pick that, you know what I mean?
Taking pictures in the mirror is usually a fun activity for most people to do together. Unfortunately, for Reddit user Bedaily13, what was supposed to be a fun mirror picture with her sister turned into an unnerving mystery. In the picture, we see a fogged-up mirror with a finger-drawn heart right in the middle, presumably with the sister's name scribbled inside of it. We can also make out the two sisters posing, but what we see in between the girls is what makes this photo a scary puzzle. In between the sisters are what seem to be two ghostly figures, with one standing above the other as they both look into the mirror with the girls.
I'm glad he pointed that one out, because I thought it was actually the one on the left, but it's actually her sister. I was like, sorry, love. Because she looks creepy with the mist. You know,
the original poster explained that her house was originally built in the 1960s, but there was no abnormal history that took place in the house that she knows of, even after doing some extensive research on its background. Other Reddit users suggested that the two boyish figures could have been siblings in another time who wanted to join in on the photo and believe there's no huge threat to the girls. Still, the mystery of who these boys are and why they chose this particular house to appear is a puzzle to everyone who's seen the photo. This unsettling photo was submitted to Reddit by user Red Desert Cowboy. The uploader claims the photo was taken in 2012 during a demolition of the old East Junior High School in Wyoming. A woman on site was documenting the demolition of...
It went, but the way it stood like with her head, it's either leaning the head to the side or it looks like someone's hanging themselves.
The historic building, when one of the photos seemed to capture something more than a record of posterity. In the photo, a figure stands among the rubble. It appears to be a woman in a white dress. Her head is bent on an unnatural angle.
Yeah. Is it because she hung herself?
A second, lightened version of the photo shows the figure in more detail.
Walking Dead, quite literally.
Many of the comments on Reddit
Whoa.
made the connection between the frightful image and the bent neck lady, featured in Netflix's horror series Haunting of Hill House.
It's because I was looking at the screen out. Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Because one arm's like that. It just... you mean, it looks like Shaun of the Dead.
The uploader claims the old building dates back to around the 1920s and that it was used as a brothel for a period of time. It then became a home of education.
Good morning.
Where students often reported seeing ghostly figures in darkened areas of the hallways. There's no indication of who this woman in white might be. There appears to be no deaths linked to the property, so why then are there so many reports of ghostly activity? Until further information comes to hand, this freaky bent-neck lady will have to remain an unsettling mystery.
Well, to be fair, it depends how far the records go back. Because, not being funny in them days, especially depending on how old it is. Back in the old days, people lived and died in their houses, you know what I mean? So...
Houses where menacing figures once lived have often been the setting of many a horror film. While they're terrifying themselves in the movie world, they become even more frightening when one visits these houses in real life. Slaptown viewer Christopher G proves why this is so, with the photograph he shared originally sent to him by a friend who visited an old home with plenty of history. In the photograph, we see a room that appears to be an attic with objects and furniture strewn about. While the camera's focus seems to be a pink chair covered with an American flag, something more sinister catches our eyes in the upper left-hand corner. Here we can make out a translucent figure standing and looking in the direction of the photographer. While the bottom half of the figure is harder to make out, the head of the figure is more defined, looking like a man with a darkened face. The photographer didn't initially notice the figure until the photo was posted online. The figure becomes even more frightening once the history of the house is brought into context. The house once belonged to Captain George Conrad Flavel, who moved into the home with his wife and son in 1901. The house was passed down to Captain George Conrad Flavel's son, Harry Flavel, who lived there with his wife and 2 children until he died in the 1950s. But it was in the 1940s when trouble first started. Harry Flavel's son, Harry S., attacked a neighbour with a hatchet in 1947. After the incident, the Flavels became ostracised by the rest of the neighbourhood, living as recluses in the home. 40 years later, Harry S. went on to randomly attack a neighbour's car with a chain. He eventually stabbed the neighbour too. He served 7 years in prison, and when he returned, the family quickly moved out of the house where it was abandoned for nearly 20 years. Having housed a man who was prone to attacking those around him, the question arises: could the creepy figure caught in the photograph be the spirit of Harry S., displeased with visitors to his once territory? Or could it be that a spirit with evil intent perhaps drove Harry S. to these violent actions? Both theories, coupled with this photo, make for an unsettling conclusion either way. This video was uploaded to YouTube in 2014 by user James McLean. It begins with the uploader stating he's been hearing noises all night.
Okay, I've been hearing all night.
He begins to investigate when suddenly a guitar can be heard being strummed in the back room. As the camera holder investigates, something chilling happens in the hallway.
Hello?
A picture frame inexplicably falls to the ground, along with what looks like some wood paneling.
Jesus Christ! Whoa!
The camera holder is clearly frightened as he backs away from the incident.
Jesus Christ! Whoa!
According to a post on Reddit, an old friend of James died in the back room where the guitar can be heard.
Oh.
See?
It's alleged that James often had dreams of his deceased friend that seemed unnaturally real. It was though he was talking to him in person. An undefined figure was also often seen lurking in the house but would quickly disappear. The Reddit post also announced that James sadly passed away of a heart attack in the same room in March of 2019.
Oh,
he
God.
was just 40 years old. So
Blimey.
could this footage show James's friend attempting to make contact?
Hello?
Some viewers have noted the blurry quality of the footage, suggesting it was a hoax and that some string might have been used to pull the picture frame to the floor.
Jesus Christ!
However, considering the tragic backstory, it seems unlikely that someone would fake the footage for some cheap thrills.
Yeah, because it seems very bad taste, doesn't it?
Jesus Christ! Whoa!
Many individuals post eerie pictures and videos on social media in hopes that others can explain the creepy stuff that they've seen. Facebook user Tyler Thornton did just that, with the photos he uploaded of what was supposed to be a completely empty house in
I've seen this one in that video.
Victoria, Australia. The photo, taken at the house of the Facebook user's recently deceased father, is a close-up of a window. Here, viewers see a glimpse of the kitchen, but what stands inside of it is what's gone on to divide the internet. Standing to the viewer's left of the
Yeah,
kitchen is
look.
what appears to be a tall man holding and looking down at something.
Yeah, because this... Oh, that was right as well, because this was in another video we reacted to, innit? Because I was saying... oh, why would you, why would you do washing, or why would you wash... What was it when I saw it? I think I saw it, and yeah, I think that's when I saw it, and also as a cast site did one where it's like, saw it as well, because it's kind of like, why would... Because he had the same train of thought, and that was, why would you... You know, come back and do washing when you're a ghost, you know what I mean? It's like, stop that.
The man's face and body look grey and hard to make out, but stand out clearly across the black background. The uploader of the photo emphasises that no one was home when the photos were taken, and other Facebook users quickly began to post theories as to who the man could be. Some automatically suggested a ghost, resembling a man who's doing the dishes.
Or it could be a
While
squatter.
another user wondered if the man could be a squatter. The photo still divides viewers today, with no definite answer as to who the figure is ever given. The ghost footage submitted to the GMA Public Affairs YouTube channel by one Leah Pineda Fuentes claims to show the spirit of a bride's deceased mother. As the text before the photo states, "Just wanted to share this photo taken last August 2016. It was my sister-in-law's wedding. Her mum died in 2007.
Oh yeah, I've seen this one as well. But this is, you know, I said earlier about this photos where you think, how F did you spot that? It's one of these photos.
I was taking a picture, but I felt something else. I'm arranging a picture to post on FB. I was shocked by what I saw. Mama was there a long time ago." When zooming in on the picture, there's a mysterious figure partially hidden by a bouquet of flowers. While the photo is blurry and hard to make out in any great detail, the family insists it resembles the bride's deceased mother. As Fuentes pointed out, it would seem her sister-in-law can rest assured knowing her mother is likely still watching over her during the big transitions in her life, which is surely more of a comfort.
I'm not, you know, I'm sure it's probably maybe, or people may say, oh, it's probably because, you know, your gizmos and that don't work and stuff. But, and I don't want to take away from people these sort of thoughts, but I asked my dad last year, and I've had dreams, but again, science could explain that as just your brain coping. Well, it was only just like the odd one. But I haven't had anyone in my family, you know, anyone have, as far as I'm aware of, you know, because I had ghost apps, Ouija, you know, all gizmos and stuff. My dad hasn't come to visit me, or neither has my dog Nelson. So, believe, you know, if it could bring people comfort, I don't want to take that away from. If it brings comfort, then fair enough.
Comforting thought than anything else. While the purpose of motion sensing cameras is often to keep individuals inside a residence safe from things outside of it, sometimes it's the inside forces that pose the biggest threat. Slaptown viewer Phil Hayball offers evidence of this with a photo he shared of a friend's house in the United Kingdom. In the picture, the motion sensing camera is pointed at the front door. This time there's no need to zoom in to get a closer look. The petrifying figure is clear as day, hovering right in front of the entrance to the home.
How tall is it?
The large figure, semi-transparent, seems to be wearing a large cloak or trench coat that covers its body except for its large dark hand hanging from a sleeve. The head of the enormous figure is cut off by the top of the image. There's no denying that a strange figure is in this photograph, though what this figure could be is a mystery to all who see it. Phil Hayball says he has no further information on the figure or what it could possibly be.
I'm not saying he's faked it, but it could also be superimposed, because they're saying about its opacity, you know what I mean?
Making this one of the more head-scratching motion-sensing camera puzzles we've seen. It almost always seems as though security officers get the short end of the stick when they're the only one around in often deserted buildings. This video, which first appeared on LiveLeak and was later uploaded to YouTube by user Tempest0, is yet another example of this. It's not clear whether the building in question was already known to be haunted. However, it seems it certainly was being haunted at the time this video was recorded. The footage was captured by the only security guard on duty in a Costa Rican office. He introduces the video by explaining he's been hearing weird noises coming from the women's restroom.
Que se escuchan ruidos extraños en el baño.
Not only this, but the door to the restroom was seen opening by itself.
Se abrió la puerta.
Going against all horror movie law, the security guard actually turns on all the lights in the building so he can get a better look. He says he can hear odd sounds when suddenly something creepy happens in the background.
Por Dios, ve a la silla.
Although it's difficult to see, the security officer claims that the chair moved by itself.
Dios, ve a la silla.
Moments later, the chair moves yet again, this time more visibly.
Santo Dios.
Just when you think it doesn't get any creepier, keep an eye on the door. Without knowing the conclusion of the odd event, one can only hope the security officer left the building without experiencing too much trauma. Is there anything scarier than a family picture gone wrong? Chris Downing soon discovered that perhaps nothing is, with a family picture that was taken with his children in 2012. The picture first appears to be a normal family photo, with Chris Downing sitting in the middle, his daughter to the viewer's right, and
I think I've seen it. I'll move my stuff.
son to the left. The family all seem to be perfectly happy, smiling for the camera, but a look at the son's leg begins to
No, I thought it was to the right, but then I realised that was street lights, and I did not see that here.
paint a different picture. On the son's leg appears
Oh,
to be a
God.
small hand that seems to grip onto him, which comes from no discernible body or
Looks
another
skeletal.
figure that we can tell. Downing explained that a week after the photo was taken, his daughter called him and frighteningly pointed out the hand that was gripping the son's leg. None of the family members were able to explain the hand in the photo initially, though Downing soon came up with an idea. Prior to the photo being
Grandma?
taken, Downing had suffered a drug overdose, where he had temporarily passed away before coming back to life soon after. Downing believes the only logical explanation of the hand in the photo is that a ghost or spirit came back with him from the afterlife.
Ooh.
Most of the commentators of the photo are quick to disclaim the picture, simply suggesting the hand could be one of a relative out of the shot. However, the family has been adamant that no one else was in the room beside the photographer. Dying and coming back to life is a very rare medical occurrence, so it's definitely not hard to believe that something just as unusual could have joined him on his journey back to reality. In late 2019, a group of friends attended a night market in the
I think I've seen it.
Philippines. They huddled together to snap a memory
Can you see it? I can see it. I hope it is this time, alright. Grudge.
of their trip to the bustling
Grudge
market.
child.
Nothing seemed amiss until one of the group members reviewed the photo. There on the right-hand side is a small child's face jutting out on a strange angle. The face is pale and slightly out of focus. It doesn't match the skin tones of the rest of the group at all. No one there that day remembers seeing a small child in the area, let alone right next to the group when the photo was taken. Some viewers have taken the pale features of the child as a sign that it's not of this world, some ghostly visage attempting to make contact.
You think?
Yearbooks can already be scary enough thanks to awkward adolescents forever captured in photographs. But what if something else, equally as harrowing, is caught on camera? Slaptam viewer Corey S. offers viewers the chance to see something not commonly seen in yearbook
1984. I was a little child then, but it was a good year. Good year of cartoons, He-Man, Thundercats, you name it.
photos in his dad's 1984 book. Upon first glance, viewers of the black and white photograph see two young women sitting on a couch in white dresses, smiling for the camera. There are windows that seem to show the trees outside of the house or perhaps a building in the back. Upon closer inspection, viewers can suddenly see something else, what appears to be a man standing behind the window on the left. He appears to be wearing a cap with his hands crossed in front of him, looking directly into the camera.
Mate. Oh,
Corey
just
explains that his father and his father's high school classmates could never identify who the man was in the photograph.
I mean, can't make it out that clearly. I mean, it could be pareidolia with a plant or something going on back, but just about make it. But again, are we seeing it because he suggested it? Because at first I couldn't make it out.
While some have suggested that the picture could simply be a case of double exposure, Corey S. denies this due to the man's position behind the window frame. Could this man just be a reflection, or could it be a ghostly figure
now I see
who
it.
wanted to leave his mark?
Now I see it, yeah. Because I only saw the bottom bit, the so-called arms. But yeah, now I see it, yeah, the cap. But once there's other things like pareidolia. Is it pareidolia? I don't know. So, probably best you have to get like digital hearts or analysed.
Love to get your thoughts on this one in the comments section below.
Well, that's the end of today's episode. Thank you so much for watching. If you can't get enough of our content, then check out these 2 links right there. Leave us a comment down below and hit that thumbs up button. It
Oh, is that reptilian one left there, the eyes?
really helps us out. And that's it for me. I'll see you all next time.
Well then. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. That's another really good compilation from Snapchat. Some of them, I think we've seen other ones, but some we haven't, and God, they've got so much going on. So yeah, if you made it this far, then be sure to hit the like, and also the subscribe. Also, because it costs you nothing to subscribe, it's free, but also it'd be great to have you here, because I like the idea of having, like, you know, see these great communities online on YouTube. I like to, you know, I would love to have build a great community and stuff. So it'd be great to have you here. And like I said, if anything, it doesn't cost you anything, but it means the world to me. And it's like I said in loads of videos, there's loads of crap that people subscribe to and watch on YouTube. So if you're going to watch rubbish on, you know, but anyway, it'd be great to have you here anyway. And if you made it this far, you're clearly awesome. So anyway, hit that like, share and subscribe, and until next video, tickle that bell, that's what she said. Until next time, take care, bye bye.